everybody, it's Warren here, hanging out in my kitchen. One day I'll do a house tour and show y'all why I'm usually in the kitchen, because this basically is one of the only spaces I have in our little tiny home to be able to do this. So I just sit at the island. We don't even have a dining room at all. We don't have anything. We have an island. That's it. So this is where it all goes down. It's kind of cluttered behind me. Whatever, you'll see all my food, my Mrs. Butterworth's PB2, all my bread, because I just ate 5 slices of French toast. Got a little gas range, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of nice. It's small. It's cozy. It works really well. On the other side, coffee pot, espresso maker, cappuccino maker, all that stuff. So I get a lot of requests. I have a brand new channel. We all know that. Not a lot of subscribers. That being said, I do have a pretty big following on Facebook and Instagram, and I get a lot of requests on there, and now a few starting to trickle in on the YouTube channel. And I get, I've got requests that people want me to follow and document and show what I eat in a day, what Warren Noyce eats in a day, how I train. I've been working on some of those videos. I shoot videos nonstop. I've got a huge collection of stuff that I'm going to dig through, and I want to try to put some together. Again, I am new at the video thing, so you got to bear with me a little bit on that, but I'm just trying to put out some quick little videos. If I can get 2 to 3 a week, just little tips and tricks and things that I do. One of the other requests I get a lot, and every person in the fitness industry or that has lost some weight or done a substantial transformation in their body will get this question. And the whole thing is, what do you do and use for supplements? And I'm not a real supplement dude per se. I have my few things that I take, and I dug through my cupboards and into my little nooks and crannies that I keep the stuff, and for my daily routine. And I grabbed all those, and I thought I would sit down and show everybody what I do in the morning. I wake up in the morning. I want to preface it a little bit. I had thyroid cancer 12, 13 years ago. I had full neck dissections, both removed out. You can even see a little bit of the scar down in there. I went through a lot of crap. With all that, it was a fairly long process to recover, especially being a singer, and a musician. It was tough. I lost my voice for a lot of years. But so the day I die, I have to take this, basically Synthroid because I don't have a thyroid. So Synthroid is basically the med that I have to take that replaces my thyroid and what my thyroid does with my body. So I take, and it's floated around for years trying to find the right amount. For a long time, I was at a higher dose, but I would end up waking up in the middle of the night in serious night sweats and heart palpitations and shit like that. So it wasn't super fun. Then I dropped it low, and if it's too low, you get fat drinking water, I swear. So we finally found, with the help of my doctor, who's an amazing lady, she's really helped me out so much with my blood work, just keeping on top of what I need for this transformation when I lost all this weight. Because you can't lose all this weight and not pay attention to your blood work and how your body's responding. If you don't, I think you're crazy. So ultimately, get in, do some blood work. If you're serious about your transformation, just monitor all the way down what's going on. So anyhow, I get up, I take 2 of these. I'm not allowed to eat or drink anything for a half an hour after these. So I sit down, I scroll Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. I do about a half an hour. Then I take one of these, which is an allopurinol. A few years ago, I ended up with gout in my foot. Worst pain ever in my life. What happened when I began this transformation is I was on a high fat. I did pure keto, 100% keto. I ended up getting gout so bad that I still have damage in my right toe. It was over Christmas last year, just over a year ago. And I was in agony. I went with my daughter, my wife, we went to the mall, and I spent quite a few hours just hobbling around. I couldn't even put my boot on. Brutal. And it spent like 3-4 days because it was over Christmas. I couldn't get in to get any colchicine or anything. So she started me on allopurinol, which is a daily supplement, daily medication that helps your body not be so susceptible to gout. I know now if I go eat a big bowl of shrimp, let's say there's a big bowl of shrimp, go to Costco, and they got those big badass, oh, so good, big trays of like big shrimp all peeled with the, the cocktail sauce in the middle. I know if I get one of those and I'm going to mow through some of those, I can just about guarantee that I'm going to feel it a little bit in one of my toes or my ankle. I have that damn gout, bad shit, bad shit. So try to stay away from it. Again, that's the fats, the rich foods, alcohol, all that kind of stuff is really, really bad for basically giving you gout. It's bad. So do some research on it. Do a little Google search on gout and how bad it is. So anyhow, I take one of those. I take a zinc, 50 milligrams of zinc. One of the reasons I take this, 14 months ago when I was working at getting in shape and made the decision to start this weight loss journey and health journey, I read on it, and because I'm 51 years old, almost 52, I wanted to give my testosterone a fighting chance. I wanted to have as naturally as I could build my testosterone, or I wanted to be able to take any supplement that legitimately helps aid your testosterone, your natural testosterone production. And zinc is one of the proven ones according to pretty much most of the studies. This is a good thing for your system, and especially if you're a dude, take zinc. So I take 50 milligrams a day. They say don't take more. So I just take it. I don't know if it works. I've been taking it for 14 months. I honestly am my natural testosterone. I haven't checked it. I would like to check it. I'd be curious, but I think been blessed with the fact that I do have a high testosterone level for a 51, almost 52-year-old man. So that's pretty cool. But I do take my zinc. I take a calcium pill plus D3. There's D3 in this one. I always just grab a bottle of calcium when I'm out. So I make sure that I take a calcium supplement every day. I hate milk. I hate all that kind of stuff. So my calcium tends to be a little bit on the lower side. So I always try to make sure that I'm getting some calcium in my diet. D's, vitamin D's. I do the gummies. I usually do a few thousand a day of these. I use a day. There's 1,000 I use in each one of these gummies. So I'll pop a couple in the morning, couple at night, one later. They're not, I don't really have a routine per se. This bottle just sits over there and I kind of count in the back of my head as I go throughout my day. It's like, no, I'm gonna eat a couple now. I'm gonna eat one later. As long as I'm getting a few thousand, IUs of D3 in my system. Plus, this is one of the proven supplements to help fight COVID. And anybody they say that has high levels of D3, chances of getting COVID are slim to none. It's an amazing thing for COVID preventative. So I have that. Then I'll get up. Now I've taken my Synthroid, I've waited. Now I'm taking my allopurinol, my calcium, and my vitamin D and my zinc. Then I usually quite often will even wash it down with this, which is greens. So I'll throw some greens in. I'm not a salad guy. I'm not a big fan of any kind of green vegetation to eat. To eat anyway. And so I'll take a shot of Cyto greens or greens. You can get whatever greens you want. It doesn't really matter. It's just basically concentrated plant matter. So I'll do one of those. Another thing I do is apple cider gummies, and I've tried a few different kinds. Don't really even know if I need them. I know they help pollen because they're for your gut, right? For your digestive system and all that. I don't really have any issues with eating anything, so it really doesn't bother me to have, if I took them or not. I just think they taste good. These little apple cider ones, they're super tasty. I get these all Supplement King in Lloyd, check them out for sure. Go in, say hi, tell them WW Lifestyle. For a code, you'll get 10% off in-store purchases, so go check them out. They're awesome, amazing there. So that's the apple cider gummies. I take those. Then, that's basically my daily routine, and of course, coffee. I'm pretty much a caffeine addict. That's a fact. I love my coffee. Actually, while I'm waiting for my Synthroid to settle, I always have a cup of coffee. So, and then depending on the day, I'll have anywhere, and some people might say I'm an idiot, but I have 6 to 8 cups a day, pretty much. So I do love my caffeine. I'll have 4 or 5 in the morning before we even really get rolling and get out into the real world, so to speak. So that's my main morning routine. Pre-workout routine is, again, I always want to have some food in my system. I used to try training. I've tried training fasted, things like that. I can't do it. I need to have some kind of carbs in my system, some kind of, I want my muscles with some glycogen in them and energy, just energy to work. So to me, carbs are a good thing. So I've got, quite often what I'll do is I'll throw in a shot of pre-workout or half a shot, whatever I feel like that day. If I haven't drank much coffee, I might have a little heavier shot of pre-workout. So these are some of my favorite is Hyde. I mean, there's lots of different pre-workouts, and I'm actually got a couple people that are friends of mine that are sponsored now by a couple of different companies that they say are badass pre-workouts. So I'm going to give them a try and see what they're like. But I really like the Hyde. And so I'll take a half a shot of that before I get to the gym. So I'm getting pretty close to the gym. I'll have a half a shot of that. Then normally what I would do is I would use BCAAs. So I would have a container of this or have a scoop of this in my water, and I just drink it throughout my workout. I've always done that for 14 months, pretty much. I've done that. I decided I was going to do this. But what I decided a little bit ago, about a month ago, I bought these, and I made a little quick post about it the other day. Basically, it's carbs, liquid carbs. That's it. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to give these a try and see, because people talk about them. They talk about a recovery, kind of thing, a recovery mix. Basically, it's a sugar-free carbohydrate. So you mix half a scoop in, 25, a full scoop's 50. Tastes good. It's made out of prickly pears, I believe, or something like that. Doesn't really matter, but it's 100 calories in half a scoop, right? So you're getting 25 grams of carbs, 100 calories. Yeah, because it's 4 grams. 4 calories per gram. So I've just started trying this, and I've done 3 workouts now after taking half a scoop of this. So I've thrown a quick 25 grams of sugar-free carbs into my body before I even get to the gym. I kind of just pound it. I'll be honest, I notice a great difference and a huge difference by having this stuff in my system before I start. And it's kind of exciting. I mean, this whole venture has been a big experiment on my part. I've tried so many diets and so many things, and I've monitored my body all the way through. I've monitored when I eat foods. What times of day do I eat carbs, or what time of day do I eat bigger meals or smaller meals, things like that. And I've got a pretty good system to get myself to where I'm at, main gaining. I'm maintaining some muscle, gaining a little bit of muscle, and I'm losing a bit of fat. And so it's been a really cool ride, and I've dialed my body in to where it all works for me. Again, that's a whole nother discussion on the food part. And again, I will be putting out a video in the very near future in regards to my full day of eating and training, just a day in the life of Warren eating, what I put in my body kind of thing. And I'll explain why I eat certain things at certain times a day. So then, that is the carbs, BCAAs, and creatine. It's the one thing everybody knows works. And that's the reality. And even if it is subtle, it still does work. Obviously, creatine, not obviously, a lot of people don't know, comes from a skeletal muscle, right? And so this basically comes in a red meat thing. Like if you're eating a steak, you're getting creatine. This stuff I've always just taken 5 grams. You don't need to take any more than that of creatine. Some people are just scooping the shit like it's friggin' crack. You don't need that. 5 grams a day max. Just throw it in your drink, 5 to 7, throw it in your drink. You always want to have it during or after, at least after your workout, because it does help the recovery of your muscles as well. So that being said, if I'm talking legit supplements, these are my main supplements right there. The other ones, they are, but they're not. These are the things that get me through the day at the gym. So, and then of course, protein. There's many different flavors, kinds, all sorts of casein, whey. You can go down caseinate. All the different types of protein. The protein. Some they say will digest faster, some are slower. You can go down the whole thing. Who gives a shit? The protein. Protein is protein. Protein does not matter where it comes from. People read so much into, well, is it chicken protein? Is it beef protein? Is it fish protein? Is it whey protein? You just, this is no good for you. Why would you do this when you could eat? Well, yeah, obviously we all want to eat whole meals. Doesn't happen all the time. That's reality. New whey proteins and different types of blends like this are an amazing alternative. They're still protein. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Check into them. Some have more sugar than others. Some have Like the diesel proteins don't have much for carbs at all. They're like a super low carb, just pure protein. These, I like this, a little bit of sugar in it, a little bit of carbs, not offensive. You can pound these, one of my favorite flavors for cooking and baking. The French toast I just had, this is what I used. 1 scoop of that, a cup of egg whites, throw it in with my slices of bread, mix it all up, let it soak for a while, throw it in a pan, sizzle both sides. Throw a little bit of Mrs. Butterworth's 0 sugar added sugar. Oh, you can dump like half a cup of this stuff on there. It's pretty damn good. So that is pretty much my supplements and what I take every day. Nothing else. Nothing else. It's kind of funny, and I never expected it to happen to me, honestly. I never thought it would happen on my YouTube channel and through a couple of the other social media platforms. I get messages, people accusing me of being on steroids, or gear as it's called nowadays. And I thought, you know what, I want to address that. I'm not on nothing. I'm not on anything that is a supplement in regards to that. I'm not on any anabolic steroids, any kind of PDs at all. I'm 100% natural on my testosterone. I would say it if I was. Absolutely I would. And there's a reason that I would, is because I'm going to talk about it in a whole nother video. When I was 19, my best friend, he's passed away now, at the time, we ended up getting through a friend who had a friend and a connection at a local vet clinic where I grew up, and got some testosterone cypionate, and Pierre had 2 vials of it, and I'll never forget, that was my first steroid cycle. 19 years old, training hard. I hadn't been training very long, just a few months, so we wasn't sure if it was really going to work. The shit works. It does work. And it was nice to be able to get some good pure sip, basically, some steroids. We used to call it juice. I'm going to date myself now back, and that's like 1989, 88, 89. So that is when when I did juice, and I did it for probably a year and a half, and I always swore I would never do it again because I guarantee there's side effects. I remember one time actually putting a pin, because we'd always take shots, right in your ass, kind of in the back of in your cheek, kind of higher up. There's a spot I always did it. Anyhow, I had some longer pins. I ended up sticking it into the bone, ended up with a big lump, looked like a freaking big boulder of calcium deposit. Things like that. Blood pressure. You look puffy. You look like shit on steroids, in my opinion. At least I did. I was a big dude. I put on a lot of freaking weight, and I was a big ass guy, but lots of health issues with it. Half the reason I know that my joints are kind of fried right now is because of the juice I did and the huge weights I did. And so that's why now it's full natural what I do. Anybody that's at the gym can see it. I'm going to do more videos on it. I really try to do a lot more lower weight, just super time under tension. Just put your brain into that spot where you're squeezing everything. So yeah, that's why I will do a video on that, because I find it interesting. I love to watch videos from other people on it, and I could give a shit if you're taking them. If you want to take gear, as they call it nowadays, we never called it that when we were young, but if you want to be on gear, you want to do SARMs, any of that stuff, it's your body, whatever you want to do. I really don't care. It's not my place to care or judge. I do have my opinions on it though, and if you really should or not. I really truly believe you should be just rocking it out, your lifetime. Try to do all the things like this, the zinc, the different things like that, and just train hard. Train freaking hard. Don't let anything else get in your head when you're at the gym. Train freaking hard, and then take care of your diet. And over time, you will see results. That's a fact. So until next time, and again, I will do videos, full day of eating. I'm going to do full days. I'm going to do I've been shooting some workout videos to show some of the stuff that I do, especially like this body weight stuff. And I've done that for 14 months now, this program that I do, and I have varying things in my days. So subscribe to the channel. Lots of cool stuff coming. Like the videos. I appreciate it. I've got a couple more podcasts coming up where I have amazing opportunity to sit down with some really cool people that I know on the planet, and people that I don't know that well that have agreed to come on board for a little chat. So make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. I really appreciate it. And until then, I'm home now, get a little work done, and actually going to go for a run in this -30 day, or a little walk anyway, and get a little bit of some cardio going. So till then, my name's Warren, and we'll talk to you all soon. Adios.